Welcome to Heroes Sucks, the weekly podcast where we review and critique the best, in the words, fan-created original characters from the My Little Pony Fandom. This show is unfiltered and unscripted and unfiltered, so minor language will be used. As well, this show can be a little heavy on the critique at times. That being said, if you are easily offended, don't watch. If not, feel free to join us for this week's show. This is episode 63 for May 22nd, 2015. We're diving deep into our submissions box and pulling out another fan-submitted episode. My name is Mummified Thunderbirds. I'm the host and show manager. Today I'm joined by...
I'm Soren Once Pie, and I watch the calendars. I make calendars.
I'm Medibobo. I'm in charge of gathering questions and viewer interaction.
And I'm Smooth Sailing, and I'm the editor.
And like I said, this week we are doing our 10th fan-submitted episode in an attempt to just get through a whole chunk of ponies that have been...
An attempt to seem original.
Yes, because we're doing it for the 10th time. So, something else that we haven't done in a long while, talking about fan art.
Eggs and touchpad! From my most recent stream on the Heroes Sucks Twitch account, which I will be streaming, well, I hopefully be making a habit of streaming from there more often. So, look forward to that in the near future.
Eggs and touchpad?
Yeah.
Yes.
The sea
eggs and the sea... What the hell is this? What is that?
He played a game, you weren't there, you missed out, loser.
Alright.
But you can watch it on our account.
Exactly. If you want to figure out who Eggs Del Lago is, check out the Resident Evil 4 stream I did.
So Rosie Posey did pairings for each one of us, and one of their OCs. They are quite lovely.
She has a lot of OCs.
She does.
Yeah.
You all kind of look happy together, where I look miserable.
You look tired.
Yep.
I look miserable.
You always are miserable.
It's true.
Eyes closed smiling is... Oh.
Also, some traditional fan art from Sashomaru Lover Girl. She made some cute little, things. And they're circles.
Things.
They're round, and they're quite lovely.
They kind of look like con badges.
Yeah! Except I wouldn't want to put a hole in mine, because my name's pretty darn close to the top.
Huh.
That's your problem.
I mean, it's just your name, Mummified. It's not like anything of importance is being cut out.
There's a hole in that logic.
Miss Creepy Plague Doctor did some wonderful fan art for both Smooth, Commander, and I.
Both three of us.
Both three of them.
Both three of us, yes.
Can I just say, I got the first one, and goodness dang, I was like, yes, please.
It's super cool.
Golly
I love it.
Golly gee dang.
That freaking blue rose.
That bleeding edge, though. You're like, the thorns are like digging into your hoof and you're bleeding. It's showing your true inner dark self.
So, moving on from the fan art into the actual heart of the episode. So, rolling the die of fate. It rolled 1, so I get to go first this week. Now, my OC this week, just want to preface this by saying that it's a character that really stands out and shines because of how it's written more than its actual character. Now, this is Ice Blizzard by the person wanting to remain known as Ice Blizzard, so since it is a pony Sona and everything. So, it's Ice Blizzard, and this is a pony that really would stands out if it was a part of a fan fiction or whatnot, completely as an offshoot from the main story. It's kind of your typical backstory of when he was a child. He was super brainy and nerdy and always running off exploring and whatnot, was bullied, never had that many friends, yada yada, blah blah blah. We've heard it 1,000 times. Well, upon one of his explorations out in the wilderness, he was able to find a magical blue crystal. And through multiple experiments, encouragement from his mother to keep going and keep testing and doing because she believed in him, and experiment after experiment after experiment, and blah, 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 yada, 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 he found nothing. Like, literally, he was like, this crystal isn't going anywhere. I can't get anything out of it. Quote, the little cult spent days and days experimenting to no avail. He just experimented, and he decided to sleep for a while to think on it. But as he was asleep, the crystal became unstable and started to glow, float, and shake like crazy. It pretty much eventually... It started making a lot of noise, and it woke him and Ice Blizzard's mother, and he was trying to contain the crystal and whatnot, but his mother tried to help him, and so the crystal seemed to have disappeared into a blue aura. It was like, oh, the kid was knocked out. What's going on? After the crystal vaporized into a blue mist and disappeared, while Ice Blizzard was knocked out cold, he received a vision from the crystal himself, telling him that, young Ice Blizzard, you are the chosen one, and I've been living within the crystal, and many ponies have tried to capture me for money, but I see you're a pony worthy of my power, and I now bestow you your very own ice powers. Use them, young colt, use them well, and so to speak. So now, Ice Blizzard, what a weird coincidence, now controls ice. So
why was the guy in the crystal...
I don't think it's so much that somebody in the crystal was telling him what's up. It's more of the crystal itself. A consciousness of the crystal. When he awoke by his mother, he found out that he could, control ice. Despite the fact that he is a earth pony. He could, freeze things. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, actually, It's out there, but it's out there in ways that it's able to explain well. If it was terribly written and off and hard to understand, I can see how that might be a thing. But with this, it's like, okay, this makes sense. It's not some weird random power he's getting. He's, looking into it and he's doing and whatnot. So, yeah. What do you guys think?
I think you stink.
Okay.
But besides that,
I'm not exactly sure how I feel about all of it.
Me neither. It's good. I think. I don't know how to feel.
It's good, I think.
I'm just kind of frozen on this one. I can't really...
I think it works because... I think it works mostly because it looks and feels more like a character that could be an offshoot story, like going off in something.
I freaking hate when things just all of the sudden happen.
But it's a call to action on this one.
In my perfect world, nothing would just happen. Everyone would have equality, and there'd be complete conformity. No one would have gigantic absolute powers over anyone else, and everything would be perfectly fine.
His ice powers have a failure rate of 20%, which I still think is weird. So he can control it 80% of the time. My apologies.
Seems kind of like a role-playing character, just because failure rates. But, yeah, I mean, if there's any... I guess 80% of the time could mean it's a talent.
Well, I mean, he can do it more... He can do it better than most...
More than other people.
He can definitely do it better than other Earth ponies.
Yeah.
Yes.
On a scale of doing it to not doing it at all, he does pretty good.
And it is... The fact that he is an Earth pony is a reason why he can only control it 80% of the time.
I'm fine with the cutie mark as it is. I just don't like what it looks like.
Yeah, I feel that if it was the light blue color for the cutie mark instead of having a light blue outline for the cutie mark... and it was just the light blue, I think it'd work better, but...
It's also kind of detailed.
Yeah.
Replace the dark blue with the
with
light
his
blue.
Not so much, because that dark blue is a little thick at some points.
What do you mean?
And, okay, so you see how the last color row is light blue, and then the dark blue is the second to last?
Yes.
How... Do you have it zoomed in so that you can see... Well, right where it first comes out with the light blue, that part right there I feel is a little bit too thick. So
I think it would look fine if you just replaced the dark blue with the light blue.
okay.
I like blue on orange, but the eyes seem like really dark, saturated. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about it. I just don't really care for the mane too much.
It's a weird level of saturation that I feel could be tweaked a little bit.
It's also a weird hue.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the blue on abrupt yellow. Like that blue and that yellow don't seem to fit together, and it's just such a. Like the tail seems fine because there's only a little bit of the yellow. Wow, I don't know. It's really hard.
Mm-hmm. The main drawback of this pony, in my opinion, is its colors. So I would look into maybe lightening the colors, not making them so heavy and saturated, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, when you think of ice, you think of a softer blue anyway. No matter what ice actually is.
A good story, a interesting character behind it as well, being able to take this weird thing and being able to sort of craft a story behind it. It definitely works in what the context that this is on this role-playing forum thing, and it leaves enough to be expanded on and possibly also inserted into fan fictions and whatnot. But from a color standpoint, some minor tweaks and maybe a little adjustments in the story that help round out more about the special powers rather than just it being weird and funky or something odd, I think would be just fine. But other than that, I like it. I mean, it's a cool OC. It looks good. So, in the meantime, we're going to be rolling right along to the next OC. I rolled a 3, so that means Medi gets to go.
Oh shit.
So, Medi, tell us all about the character you brought.
This is Edward Henry Doppel. He is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde pony. And he is a stallion with a double personality, which he often splits into two different ponies. The Edward Doppel, which is the green mane, is has more of a nasty side. Henry is the brown mane, which is the more gentle, anxious other half. Alright, so Sir Doppel, or just Doppel, uses a mirror to contain the evil Dr. Jekyll side, but whenever he lets down his guard, the magic spell on the mirror weakens and he breaks free. And this is reflected by his mane changing colors.
Reflected?
Yes.
Oh!
I get it.
And his cutie mark is the comedy and tragedy, but tweaked to suit his other sides. So I'm not a big fan of the cutie mark because it doesn't really represent a special talent. It kind of represents personality. I feel like he would be better having a potion cutie mark than a... because I'm assuming he was made into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde the same way Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was made.
Potions.
Yeah, just experiments gone wrong. So I feel like vials or stuff would fit him better than the comedy and tragedy, because that seems like it would fit more of an actor pony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what the heck are these potions on here anyway?
Colors that he
They're
used
all
as
poison.
actor.
They are all
They're-
the colors of the OC.
Except one of them does turn you into a llama.
Oh, that's pretty... How did I not notice that? I feel really dumb
Yeah,
now.
me
but
too.
anyways,
Jeez.
We're all new to this whole OC thing. It's not like we're experienced people or not. That's perfectly fine.
Shut your mouth.
that's pretty cool. I like how they did that.
Yeah,
That
that's-
is really neat. Just to take away from the character real quick, in the art they did, that's cool. Anyway, sorry.
It's just, I really like his design-wise. I really like his... unless he has another story which I don't have on here, I'm assuming he has the same Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story, which is actually like a personal favorite of mine. I don't know why, but that story sticks in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's really cool.
Well, considering that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, this is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde pony, but hey, He may have a different story. I hope he doesn't, because I actually like his story as is.
So, does his mane change colors when he is two different ponies? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or does... Okay, so it all goes green, or green and brown, or all green.
So technically,
Green when he's evil.
he's never seen as this.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
half and half?
I
Yeah.
believe, that's what
Yeah.
they're going for here.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so basically, like, just put your hand over the side that you don't see. Like, put your
Yeah.
hand
Oh,
over
wow.
his left side, not our left side, but his left side, and he is Green Man. And put your hand over
He's Green
his
Man.
right side, and he is the Brown Man.
And he is Brown Boy.
I would probably... In a ref sheet like this, I would like to see two separate ponies for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
see?
it's very...
But wait.
Maybe, like, the two separates... I guess technically this split image isn't good in a ref sheet. No, actually, no, never mind. It would be good in a ref sheet to see, like, how exactly they differ right next to each other, and not just, like, oh, this side has this side has this, but this compares them very definitively against each other. I like that.
Yeah.
If you're going to...
You don't like...
In my opinion, if you're going to keep the split one like this, I would put in just a pony that is one and a pony that's the other. Still.
What, you don't like Green Man and Brown Boy, the colorful
No,
crusaders?
I like them both, but it's just the fact that in this case, it does... from looking at it through Medi's perspective of the comic book, whatever the hell he wants to call it, it looks like he just has one half died. It doesn't clearly represent, like, that this is two separate things.
I mean, you have two separate eyes types. One mane is messier than the other mane.
Mm-hmm. And I get that. I get the fact that there is both sides shown in this one, but I would just switch. I would do something more to help symbolize that, yes, these are two things being shown here.
I like
not
it how it
just-
is. Just maybe explain that more
Mm-hmm.
in the description.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's classic. I mean, they tell you what it is right there. Jekyll and Hyde. Good story.
I also like...
Drawing from good story.
I guess, yeah, you need to have them separate also to be able to, like, truly distinguish the colors and how they would really work together without having to put your hand over half of his face.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that shade of green either. It's gross.
I guess it makes
gross.
sense since it's probably not
Yeah.
supposed to look very good considering
Yeah, he's not supposed to
he's
be
the
pretty.
Mr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. Freaking dang it!
It's not supposed to be pretty, but it's gross. It's gross. I'm not sure I really like the brown either, though. Like
I think
the
it's okay,
it's like
but it's not.
skin colored and then brown and blue, and I'm just like, it looks human, and it's the color palette looks human, and it's like really weirds me out.
It's really odd, but I like it enough, I guess.
Strange.
I
Strange.
don't
It is
understand
strange.
what's with his hooves and his horn, but I mean,
Yeah, that's something I'm not a big fan of either. But aesthetically, I like this pony as well. I like how he has kind of a fancy little collar, and I have no idea what that is called on the front.
cravat,
Yes.
The what?
a cravat.
A cravat. I like his cravat, his collar, his hat. Yeah, I like his design all around, especially since the Hyde side is more crazy and mean looking, where the innocent side is adorable. I like everything about this OC besides his cutie mark. Your color schemes were lovely. I like them a lot.
Cool.
Medi,
Right on.
Medi out.
Medi out. Drop the mic. Anyway, so thank you, Medi, for bringing on that OC. It's quite lovely. Now we are going to have to move on to the next OC. I rolled a 4, so that means we get to go smooth.
Okay. This is Ariana Bay. She is a seafaring pony. Her talent is specifically in treasure hunting. She likes adventuring, jewels, sailing, the ocean. She looks, by the way, just a bit like a pirate, for reasons, in a second. And dislikes staying in one place, giving up easily. Winter, and foals. And she is adventurous, brave, loves to swim, and is considered impatient. Ariana was born to a family in Canterlot, but unfortunately they were forced to move out of Canterlot due to financial issues. So they moved to a smaller, simpler town that was coastal. So most of the houses and shops had some kind of connection to the ocean, and Ariana thought that was cool. She didn't like the new home, but she didn't like leaving behind all of the friends she made in Canterlot. But by the time her family had finally gotten the financial stability to move back to Canterlot, she'd grown too attached to the coastal city that was her new home to want to go back. So that was probably incredibly painful. When she was a young adult, she had a giant interest in treasure hunting, and she admired pirates and pirate-ish stuff a lot, and their skills in locating valuable stuff. So she sought that one. Sought out a friend who was well known for pirate-ish kind of things, and was considered a pirate because of how he dressed, how he spoke, and that he was always on a ship. He didn't freaking want to be called a pirate, though. He wasn't a pirate. He was just a guy that fit most of the stereotypes. She spoke with him about islands, and he told her about a myth out there, a legend, if you will, that there might be a great treasure that no one's been able to get yet in this certain one area or island or thing. So that got her super hyped up, and so she set off with her own ship, which she got because her parents were able to save up enough for it. She used her ship to go out there, search out the island, and when she got to the island, she was happy she got there, and then she started searching and searching and searching and searching. She couldn't find it. She couldn't find it. She couldn't find it, just like everyone else couldn't find it. Oh, hey, wait, is that a crevice there behind those two? Oh, hey, look! Oh, hey, look! I can't see anything. I mean, it's a long, narrow hallway, but I can't see... Oh, wait, is that a glimmering at the end of the tunnel? Is that... it? Oh! That's gold. That's gold.
I love how innocent you make your ponies sound smooth. You're just like, oh.
Doing it. Got it.
Doing it well.
And she got there. She found that gigantic treasure no one had ever found. Honestly, she didn't care about the treasure. She cared about finding it. She didn't care about the treasure itself. To her, it could have been like whatever the hell. But the fact that she found it when no one else did freaking brought her great pride, happiness, and a cutie mark. She, professional treasure hunter.
And that's the true meaning of Christmas.
And that's how Equestria was made.
A lot of times when she brings back treasure and stuff, she would keep the things she wants to keep, but she'd just, like, sell the others, like, whatever. It doesn't even matter. It's not about the money, it's about the satisfaction of finding the thing. I think that's admirable in its own way.
I like it. Like, I don't know, the whole thing about moving to the new town and then not being able to leave the new home that you've grown to love. I really like that part. It spoke to me for some reason.
Yeah. I also like her aesthetics. I mean, that brown and brown probably wouldn't really work in the show, but I still really like it. It has a more darker feel, which works more for a pirate-ish kind of thing, or a treasure hunting sort of thing, because pastel ponies honestly probably wouldn't work in the treasure hunting category of thing. I mean, you probably can, but I can't think of any off the top of my head that would make sense.
I like her because she looks like chocolate, and chocolate is tasty.
I would love to see this pony on a ship with a second mate that's like bright pink and blue like Cotton Candy Crush.
Oh
That'd be
god.
so cool.
She's the only one
Whoa.
not pastel.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure how I feel about her blue with brown. It seems a little odd, but it at least somewhat works. I don't know exactly. But I like how the browns work. I also like the design of the mane and tail, like all scraggly and everywhere, like a pirate's hair would be. I also really freaking like her outfit.
Yeah.
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 Although it makes her kind of look like both a swabby and a captain at the same time, and I'm just like,
Maybe she does
It's-
that on purpose so
it's-
that she doesn't seem as powerful.
maybe. But it's all the striped shirt. The striped shirts like that are only seen on swabbies and stuff like that. I'd say if you want more of a captainish look, you'd probably want to invest in a
Ruffle?
dress shirt and a cravat, yeah.
Yes.
A dress shirt and a cravat.
Oh my god,
The
a
theme of this
cravat.
week's episode, cravats.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Like, every pony needs a cravat. Ice Blizzard,
Hell yes.
Dr. Jekyll, this pony, everybody gets a cravat.
The only negative point I really have is the cutie mark is incredibly detailed, and I don't know exactly how to simplify that. I feel like we've done something along those lines in the past, but I can't remember what we said, so my brain has out. Maybe just a...
Maybe, rather than, since she doesn't really care about the treasure that much and it's more the hunt that gets her, maybe a map would be more in order. But I mean, the treasure chest with the brown does fit, but so would a map. A map can be brown, and it could be like a less detailed map. That would be an interesting take on it.
Yeah. And you might not want to detail the map all that much. Maybe just like a scroll with
Yeah.
like a dot or two and an X. Or maybe just like
Yeah.
a scroll with an X on it.
No, you definitely want to take just like Photoshop in a picture of an
Stop.
atlas.
Okay, never mind. I really like this pony. Aesthetically and story-wise and personality worked really well with that as well. And I really liked her.
Moving on from that OC, we're going to wrap it up with our final good OC of the episode before we head on over to bad OCs. Now, Soren, tell us all about your OC you brought to the party.
I brought in this Pegasus named Sapphire Sights by Ep.63. And he's a stallion. And yeah, they before you say anything, they noted in the show style they forgot to do wings, and he's jumpy, and he's paranoid. Actually, this pony is completely insane. It says that he'll be staring off into space, and just kind of muttering to himself, and yes, yes, and it's
What was that?
he's usually seen. Sometimes you just see, you can just. But yeah, he's usually seen as stupid because he won't really respond to anyone. It says, kind of cryptically in the personality, it says, and I quote, "After years of seeing what he sees, he's a bit traumatized and unresponsive to the world around him." So, apparently he was born with an ability to see into parts of the future, and
Oh, God.
everybody just thought he was crazy. So, they moved from Cloudsdale to Canterlot after he tried to jump off of a cloud, because he was like, the weather factory, that's where they keep the monsters, and it's evil. And so he tried to jump off of a cloud because he was scared of the weather factory. He had heard that schools were bad from other kids because they're like at school. So he was pretty paranoid. He's obviously pretty impressionable. I mean, and seeing what he sees, he's pretty quick to believe that something is going to be bad or evil. He got his cutie mark when he was able to predict the Sonic Rain Boom, actually. He predicted Rainbow Dash's Sonic Rain Boom. And so that's where he got his cutie mark, I guess. He it kind of explains here that nobody understands why his cutie mark has nothing to do with the rainbow or the rainboom at all. But he didn't even really. He's like, cutie mark, whatever. Too busy being insane. And so, basically, he just lives with a caretaker now, and he's just crazy. It's pretty awesome. But one thing that's cool is he has a habit of like over grooming or ripping out his feathers, making his flying abilities much worse than other Pegasi. Since he's crazy, paranoid, and like really nervous all the time, he over grooms and it makes him a worse flyer. I thought that was a really cool way that they actually explained, instead of just being like, oh, he's not good at flying, he's not good at flying like most OCs would do. And I mean, which there's nothing wrong with doing that, but this is it was cool.
An actual logical reason. Huh.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. And he likes going out to clubs because the music distracts him from what he sees.
It distracts everybody from what they see. That's why people go to clubs.
Booms, booms, booms.
Clubs are actually
you don't have to see the ugliness of real life. Oh god. I prescribe one club. You must inject a club per week. You know, everybody on this. What was that?
What was what?
I feel critics from another world critiquing me.
I like him so far.
I love that story. I love the story so much.
I love over paranoia. What? I also actually like how his cutie mark has nothing to do with the Sonic Rainboom, because
Really?
Yeah, because technically only Rainbow Dash's cutie mark is because of the Sonic Rainboom. All of the others were caused by, but not directly, the Sonic Rainboom. All of the others had them with self-actualization and stuff like that. So his is more like, okay, I've predicted this thing happening. So, and then all of a sudden it does happen. I have a gift. I have a gift of foresight. This is what I am. Bring!
The only hole in it is that he's had it for his whole life.
Oh,
so,
what?
like, yeah, like he was born with the ability to see into the future. Wait, let me go back to the description. Yes, he's born with the ability to see into the future, so, like, him getting his cutie mark for it way later for doing something he's already done, like, 1,000,000 times, that's the only hole in the story that I can really find.
Maybe that's the only time that it's actually been proven true.
Maybe, because everybody thinks he's paranoid, so... And I mean... Yeah, maybe when he does see, he just sees bad parts of the future, or he sees an altered future, because I don't think the Weather Factory is evil. But, yeah. I like grayscale colors and blue.
I like his color palette as well. It's very toned down, and it seems very out of place in pony society, which makes sense.
Everything about his character gives off this very sort of sickly look. It's all discolored and
somewhat unsettling.
It's great. I tried like following the spirals on some of these cutie marks when I had them just taking up like half my screen, so it was a little bit smaller, and it was hard to follow with my eyes. I was like, it was jumping back and forth between the line next to it and the line just after it, and I was like, oh my god, it just, everything about this character is just so unsettling, and it's great. I love it.
I like how his pupil, his eyes are all like... they're all like... I like how the top of his mane looks like a wing, too, and so does his tail, a little bit. They look like wings to me.
Yeah, they look like little kind of chicken bone wings. Like they're lacking a lot. And I love it.
Yeah, and his wings are very sparse because he's like, just gotta groom myself. They won't notice. I don't know, I just like how crazy he is, and he's just literally insane.